Ever get that feeling? Like you want the real deal behind a big name, without wading through tons of stuff. Well, that's us today. Wipe the slate clean about Gucci, okay? Beyond all those logos, the fashion. There's a wild ride of family drama, betrayal, and a total clash that changed luxury forever. Honestly, this is more gripping than any catwalk show I've seen.
It's how those personal things within the Gucci family blew up onto the world stage and had these huge effects on the whole luxury industry. That's what makes it so interesting, this mix of family, business, and super high-end fashion.
Totally. So to get the full story, we've been digging deep. There's this detailed YouTube video transcript from starting finance. It lays everything bare, the whole Gucci timeline from starting out to the giant it is now, and how they basically kicked off this massive change in luxury.
We're pulling out the most insightful bits for you, the juicy parts,
Yeah.
the main people, the big shifts, those weird connections that made Gucci what it is, but also changed luxury as a whole, you know?
Right. So, scene set. Florence, Italy. Guccio, born 1881. His dad had this straw hat shop, didn't quite work out. Sounds like Guccio was ready to do his own thing.
Oh yeah. 17 years old, he heads off, first Paris, then London. That time abroad, I think, really shaped him. A whole different world from where he grew up.
And in London, he gets a job that, well, sets the scene for everything, right? Porter at the Savoy Hotel, super posh place. Imagine every day surrounded by that level of wealth.
The Savoy, then. Global hub for the elite. Guccio handling their luggage, their bags, all top-notch stuff. That constant exposure, the sheer, fanciness, it must planted a seed. His own taste, that's where it came from, like a luxury education.
Elegance boot camp. Soaks it all up, comes back to Italy at 23. Marries Aida Calvelli. She already had a son, Ugo. Then they have 5 more. Grimalda, Enzo, sadly, he dies young. Then Aldo, Vasco, and Rodolfo. Now, you said before, Aldo and Rodolfo, those are the ones to watch.
They become major players, really shaping Gucci's future. But before we jump ahead, Guccio kept at it, the leather goods thing. Worked for Franzi in Milan, became the director even. So hands-on experience fueling that business drive he had.
All that first-hand knowledge from Savoy to Milan, and then 1921, Florence, his own workshop, Via del Parione, then his first store, Via della Vigna. It's wild to think a global empire starts with his and his wife's savings, plus a loan.
His first products. Exactly what grabbed him in London, travel trunk suitcases, big status symbols back then for the rich travelers. Then he gets smart, expands to smaller stuff, gloves, belts, wallets, boots. More people can buy that, right?
But here's what's interesting. He focuses on horse riding accessories. Those horse bit and stirrup designs we all know as Gucci, it's straight from that early focus, horses and riding.
Exactly. Not just things you use, but a whole lifestyle, Heritage, prestige. Guccio got branding early on. And like many businesses then, it was family-run. Everyone pitched in, making it grow. Even got a bigger factory via Gucciardini, keeping up with demand.
Things are going good, right? Then the 1930s hit. Fascist regime, those autarky policies, basically restrictions on stuff coming in from other countries, leather included. That's the heart of Gucci's products. Must have been a huge roadblock.
Could have sunk them, for sure. But instead of giving up, Guccio gets inventive. Starts using different stuff, hemp, jute, linen. Not just to save money, it made new, unique designs. Became part of that Gucci look. Turning a problem into something cool,
Necessity breeds style. And despite all that, they keep expanding. Rome store, 1938, right on Via Condotti. Super fancy street. Bold move in those uncertain times.
Showed ambition. Then World War II, another curveball. Less demand, obviously. But Gucci adapts again, starts making shoes, boots for the Italian army. Kept them going.
Adaptable, that's the key. Post-war, 1945, they restructure limited liability company, SRL. Important for a growing business. Protects the owners, their personal stuff is separate from the company's, legally speaking. Some family members move on too. Ugo sells his shares. Vasco had no heirs. Grimalda married, left the business. So it's Guccio, Aldo, and Rodolfo, the main guys.
That sets the stage for the next big thing, growth-wise. Aldo and Rodolfo pushing for more international stuff, America especially.
The 1950s, things really take off. Milan store, 1951, via Monte Napoleone. Rodolfo's in charge there. But the big one, their first international store, New York City, 5th Avenue, January 1953. That must felt massive.
Huge step, Gucci on the world stage.
Yeah.
Sadly, Guccio himself dies just before that, January 2nd, 1953, age 72. Leaves behind a thriving business, probably didn't see the family clashes that were coming.
Family dynamics change again. Aida, his wife, passes away in 1955. Company's capital split equally. Aldo, Vasco, Rodolfo. Ugo sold his shares, remember, and Grimalda not included. There were little disagreements already, the transcript says, which, happens in family businesses.
Sure, inheritance, leadership changes, friction's normal.
Hmm.
But Gucci kept rising. That iconic GG logo comes in, a tribute to Guccio. And they start doing clothes, not just leather. Recognition grows globally.
And those iconic products, gotta mention them. The bamboo bag, the horsebit loafer, florist scarf, made for Grace Kelly. Not just accessories, they became symbols of Gucci's style.
More than fashion trends, they meant something. Sophistication, good taste. And that saying, quality is remembered long after price is forgotten, fits perfectly right. Craftsmanship over cheapness.
Absolutely. New York stores, they drew in the Hollywood crowd. Audrey Hepburn, Jackie Kennedy, even the Jackie O bag named after her. President John F. Kennedy was ordering stuff. That kind of publicity is gold.
Huge for their image, a top luxury brand worldwide.
1960s. Boom time commercially. New boutiques everywhere. London, Palm Beach, Paris, Chicago, Beverly Hills, Tokyo, Hong Kong. Gucci's becoming like a phenomenon.
Their Florence factory, via Guicciardini, couldn't handle it all. Early 1970s, they invest big new factory Scandicci near Florence.
Yeah.
Much bigger, modern.
But under the surface, family stuff was getting messy. Aldo and Rodolfo, different approaches.
Yeah. Rodolfo, like his dad, wanted exclusivity, top quality for Gucci. Aldo. More about profits, higher volume, lots of franchising.
Franchising, sure, it grows things fast, but also risky for a luxury brand.
Mm.
Quality control issues, the transcript mentions, and fakes popping up everywhere, especially in Asia. Huge problem for Gucci.
That difference, how to do business, became a big problem between them. Then third generation joins in Aldo's sons, Giorgio, Paolo, Roberto, and Rodolfo's son, Maurizio.
More complicated, right?
Oh, yeah. And Aldo, always ambitious, starts his own things on the side. 1972, Gucci Perfumes, or Gucci Parfums, he's running that with his sons. Then other subsidiaries, Gucci Shops, Guccio Limited in London and Hong Kong, Gucci C in Paris, all under his control. He even wanted to list the company on the stock market, raise some capital, but his brother shot that down.
So you've got this tangled web of ownership. Parent company is the three brothers, but these subsidiaries, different splits, their kids involved. Recipe for disaster, really.
Like a ticking time bomb. And it explodes. 1974, Vasco dies. Aldo and Rodolfo, 50% each of the parent company. Aldo keeps 40% for himself, splits the rest among his sons. That must cause some tension. Shifted the balance, for sure. More tension between Aldo and Rodolfo, but also among the cousins. Aldo's sons and Maurizio. Family business classic, personal stuff mixed with ambition.
Summer of 1982, it all blows up. Family meeting, Florence, turns into a war, basically. Paolo, Aldo's son, casually says he's leaving, starting his own brand using the Gucci name. Wow.
Total chaos, shouting, accusations. Paolo gets attacked, physically thrown out, the story goes, fired immediately, trademark infringement, family ties completely broken.
But Paolo fights back, lawsuits all over the place, even a 2.5 billion lira lawsuit in Manhattan. All this brings investigations, financial stuff, everyone's under scrutiny. Gucci's dirty laundry, out in the open.
Bad for the brand, all that drama. Then, 1983, Rodolfo dies. Maurizio inherits his 50%, becomes the majority shareholder. Everything changes again.
Maurizio, now in control, wants it all. Becomes president, 1985. It's crazy how these shifts happen. Huge consequences for the company.
And here's a twist. Paolo, remember, he got kicked out. He teams up with Maurizio to take down his own father, Aldo. It showed you how messed up it was. Alliances shifting based on who you're mad at.
They go for the jugular, report Aldo to the U.S. tax authorities. Accusations of stealing millions, evading taxes big time. Aldo gets arrested in 1986, spends a year in prison in America. Sad end for someone who built up Gucci internationally.
Shows you personal vendettas, money problems. Even the big guys aren't immune. Meanwhile, shares are being traded back and forth. Aldo, his sons, Maurizio, parent companies, subsidiaries. It's hard to keep track.
The transcript gives us numbers. 1986, parent company doing 233 billion lira in sales, 6.4 billion lira profit. Shows you how strong the brand was, even with all the drama. But the lawsuits, investigations, it was a cloud over everything.
Aldo comes back to Italy 1989, but still fighting with Maurizio. Finally, 1990, he sells out. Anglo-Arab Investcorp International, $135 million. Done with Gucci.
You'd think that's the end. But sadly, he dies the next year. Prostate cancer. Maurizio, seeing his chance, buys out his cousins, 1991. He's the only Gucci left, in control. Decades of infighting. It's over.
But being in control doesn't mean you're good at it. Maurizio felt lost, the transcript says. Didn't have the financial skills. Inheriting a company, running it globally, two different things.
Enter Domenico De Sole, crucial guy. He was the family lawyer, hired by Rodolfo, then head of Gucci America, becomes Maurizio's main advisor. The brains, basically.
De Sole's super important now. Maurizio's struggling, and in 1993 he sells. His whole stake, gone. Investcorp International, 270 billion lire. Gucci family, officially out of Gucci.
After all that, they're out. Maurizio starts new things, a casino in St. Moritz, a marina in Palma de Mallorca. New chapter, you'd think, but dark turn coming.
March 27th, 1995, Maurizio's murder. Milan, outside his office, only 47 years old.
Brutal. 4 shots, Browning 765, silencer. The doorman tries to stop it. He's shot too, dies. Assassin escapes. Renault Clio. Like a movie.
Big question. Who wanted Maurizio Gucci dead? To get that, we got to go back his relationship with Patrizia Reggiani. Complicated and tragic.
Patrizia. It's 1970. Maurizio, rich kid, kind of shy, meets her at a party, Milan. She wasn't from wealth, adopted by her mom's partner later on. Different world.
Maurizio fell hard for her. They say she looked like Elizabeth Taylor back then. Rodolfo, his dad, hated it. Gold digger, he called her. But they get married anyway, 1972.
And then the high life. Penthouse in New York, villa in Milan, spending like crazy, 65-meter sailboat. 2 daughters, Alessandra and Allegra. Fairy tale for a while.
13 years, it seemed great. Then Rodolfo dies, 1983. Maurizio gets his inheritance. Never really worked in the business. Suddenly he's in charge. Trouble starts.
Their relationship falls apart. They separate. Patrizia gets big alimony payments, over $1.2 million a year in today's money. But she's still angry. The resentment builds.
She felt pushed out from Gucci, the family. Then Maurizio starts seeing someone else, wants a divorce. Her anger turns into wanting revenge.
And she gets it. Chillingly planned. Pina Ariema, her friend, helps her. They hire hitmen. March 27th, 1995, it happens.
So Maurizio's story ends terribly. But Gucci, the company, takes another turn. 1993, Investcorp owns it all, 100%, but they're losing money, big time.
Domenico De Sole, he was Maurizio's advisor, remember, becomes super important. Helped with the Investcorp deal, becomes CEO, 1994. And then he makes a genius move, hires this young designer, Tom Ford. Not that well known, but super talented.
De Sole and Ford, that's a game changer for Gucci. Ford brings this fresh, sexy look. Suddenly it's cool again. De Sole handles the money, the strategy. Less licensing, focus on key products, price changes, big marketing push.
It works, big time. 1995, they're making record profits. Amazing turnaround. Those two had vision. Investcorp, smart move. They take half of Gucci public, New York and Amsterdam, 1995. Sell the rest within 2 years. Huge profit. Gucci's publicly traded now. De Sole and Ford in charge.
Stability, you'd think. But nope, luxury's a tough world. Enter Bernard Arnault, head of LVMH, the biggest luxury group.
Arnault's got a plan. Buy brands, grow them, make LVMH even bigger. Gucci's doing great, perfect target. LVMH starts buying shares. By 1999, they have 34.4%.
De Sole and Ford. Worried, obviously. Hostile takeover, that's the threat. So they turn to Francois Pinault, head of PPR. Not really a luxury player then, more retail.
And Pinault makes his move in 1999, buys 42% of Gucci. Bam, almost $3 billion. Takes it off the stock market, blocks Arnault. This starts the luxury war, Pinault versus Arnault.
Huge fight. In the news, in court. Arnault says Pinault's tactics were illegal. Gucci, under De Sole and Ford, does the poison pill thing, new shares, LVMH's stake drops to 20%, basically makes a takeover super expensive.
Brutal rivalry, accusations flying, backroom deals. While this is happening, both LVMH and PPR are buying up other luxury brands, getting bigger.
Finally, 2001, LVMH gives up, sells their Gucci shares to PPR. Pinault wins. PPR changes completely, becomes Kering. François-Henri Pinault, his son, takes over. Now they're the second biggest luxury group. Gucci's their main brand.
Crazy, right? What if De Sole and Ford hadn't gone to Pinault? Kering, Gucci, the whole industry could be totally different.
Those decisions, alliances, that's how luxury works.
And the Gucci story keeps going. 2004, De Sole and Ford leave, new CEOs and creative directors come and go. The Gucci family. Completely out of it, just the name is left.
Makes you think, what if they'd been, more together, shared a vision, less fighting? Could they have kept Gucci in the family? Interesting to think about after all that drama.
Totally. So there you have it, folks. The Gucci family saga, the murder, the wild ride that changed luxury. We've covered a lot. Hope you've got a good grasp on it now. Makes you realize family, ambition, luck, it all plays a part. and, what other big names out there have these stories going on behind the scenes. We'll be back with more deep dives, exploring the hidden stories behind the brands we think we know.